It's finally time to talk about this. Hey! Hey guys, and welcome along to a very special vlog here today on the Crochet Me Zaddy channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach, aka Crochet Me Zaddy, and I am a crochet expert. I'm a good-at-me pattern designer, crochet content creator, and now yarn business owner. As you can tell, I'm very excited about this news. I've been holding on to it for the past year and a half, and it's been really hard not to tell everyone about this exciting process and journey that I've been going through. And now it's time that I finally get to share it all out into the public, out to you guys, my special community, and I just get to talk to you a bit more about the process and take you along with the actual release of the yarn and the startup of the yarn company itself. So I'm very excited. So let's just get straight into the vlog. I think first things first, I should probably tell you why I'm starting a yarn company. I think a lot of you will be watching this being like, what? Why? For what reason? What are you doing? What prompted you to do this? And I think there's just a few different things that prompted me to do this. I think first things first, there's little to no plush yarn here in Australia. The big box craft stores just stock very minimal plush yarns. So you might get 5 different colors, and they're a variegated color of yarn, and it's just kind of what am I supposed to make with that? How am I supposed to make a kangaroo when all I've got is spotty purple yarn? I mean, it might look cool, but then it's just very limiting. So that's the only option we might have if that is actually stocked in those stores. Otherwise, you kind of have to import from overseas, and that can be expensive and annoying, and it's just it's just a lot. It's just the availability of plush yarn here in Australia, especially being a crochet artist myself, working within the plushie creating world, it's just I needed to make it happen. I needed to make it accessible to my community over here, and I was like, well, these companies aren't doing it for us, so I may as well do it myself. So here we are. In addition to that, I think also there's a lot of yarn companies out there that I have personally worked with, and I didn't get the vibe. I didn't feel like they were really up to date with what was happening in the world. I feel like a lot of them are really just focusing on clothing or maybe blankets or more utility focused things. And I feel like there's been such a boom of amigurumi and plushie making and things like that. And it feels like a lot of companies, because they might be very large and have so many different varieties of yarns, it means that their focus is a lot more spread out. And I was like, well, I want to feel like there's a company that's out there that wants to actually work with us genuinely and work with us specifically on these kind of amigurumi focused yarns and things. So I was like, okay, let's make a company that really focuses in on amigurumi, plushie making, the community, and just having fun, and let's just keep it at that as a starting point and then see how it develops. With that in mind, that is where the birth of Zaddycrafts came from. Yay! The name itself, I have had that name in my mind for many years now. I started crocheting back in 2018. I was like, well, really love yarn, really love crafts. This could be a fun thing to do. In 2020 was when I started my Instagram, and from there I was like, oh wow, I really enjoy crocheting and making dolls and amigurumi and things like that. And I was like, okay, this is really developing into something. I wonder if I could make my own yarn business or sell kinds of yarns or crafts or something like that. And so I just always had in the back of my mind, I was like, I have this Zaddy brand that I've been working on for the past few years now, and I was like, I really want to take that and just kind of inject it into another part of the craft world, which isn't focusing solely on me, it being a personality online, but is more focusing on the craft aspect of it all, but taking that kind of fun and talking about myself as a Zaddy brand, I'm taking that kind of fun and genuine and kind and excitingness of crafts and putting it all into getting people into crafts and plushie making and things like that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to encapsulate there with the name as well as the branding. With that logo itself, I actually hired a friend of mine to design it for me, and so we got the yellow bunny there, which is actually the head of my first ever buddy pattern, which is this little cutie here. So you might have seen that's why we've got these kind of purple and yellow bunnies floating around a lot. It's because I've been working on this for the past year. So that bunny symbol or bunny shape is what I always intended to have as part of the Zaddycrafts brand, and I really like the colors of yellow and purple mixed together, so that's why I also have these two as my first two staple colors when I was creating the yarns as well. I just thought it was a cute color combination, cute branding, and really carried that idea of like fun and this kind of jovialness about crafts and getting into them and whatnot. But when I was working with my friend on designing the actual logo, he said maybe we can like change the A into like a little bit of string. And when he designed it, I was like, oh, that also looks kind of like a little spring, like a comical spring action. And it kind of reminded me of like jumping for joy or like a bunny hopping or something like that, which is also more into that kind of joyful branding that really is being injected into Zaddycrafts as well. So when that design all came together, I was like, that's it, that's perfect, I love it, I love it. So that's where the branding came from. You might have also seen that my own logo, Crochet Me Zaddy, then actually changed to Crochet Me Zaddy with like the actual purple bunny and a purple little spring in the Zaddycrafts or in the Zaddy. That's because the Zaddycrafts logo is already created, and then I wanted to make sure that the Crochet Me Zaddy brand also kind of linked in as like a sister brand. Two separate entities, but kind of related through this kind of Zaddy branding, so it's been fun. Anywho, that's a bit about the history and why I wanted to create a yarn company, and where we are now with the actual company and developing yarns and getting all set up is we have ordered our first big batch of yarns. We've gone through the sampling stages, we've selected the colors, and now we are just waiting for the deliveries to arrive and hopefully release it later this year. Today is October 8th. I have been working on this probably since about August last year. So yeah, it has been a lot of work. I reached out to a lot of different manufacturers globally. I went over to Turkey, to China. I think I went to Peru as well. I checked out locally to see what kind of yarns are available. And in the end, I settled on a manufacturer based in China. So easy to work with. They understood what I really wanted. The feedback I gave them on the samples they gave me. And then we worked together to actually build a yarn that I wanted to be the most perfect yarn for plushie making. For myself as like a good judge of that, but as something that I know be very commercial and like wanted amongst amigurumi creators and plushie creators, so yay. Just as an example, a lot of the companies that were sending me, I was like, I want something that's like kind of velvety. I want a chenille yarn, but the word like chenille is so ambiguous. When they're sending back their chenille yarns, I'll be getting things like this, which is like a really, really thin velvet. And I'm just like, that's so fragile. It's so smooth and velvety, but it's so fragile and so tiny. And I was like, that's just not what I wanted to work with. So they'll be sending me that and I'm like, no, not that, but kind of that, just kind of thicker. And so then they'll send me things like this, which is this kind of like chenille yarn, but it's kind of just like, it's more of a blanket yarn, which is still chenille, but it's like really like spongy and just kind of icky to work with. Like it really lent down that blanket yarn kind of durability side of things. And I was just like, ugh. It's just not what I wanted. It's just not as velvety as I needed. When I was talking to them, I was kind of like, I want something that's velvety like this, but as durable as this, but not as spongy as this, but also as thick as this. So it comes across as really confusing, and you can see why there was a lot of back and forth. But in the end, we resulted with this beautiful yarn here, which I'm going to reveal the name very, very shortly. But this yarn here is amazing. It's like I've been talking about it on previous vlogs as well, about like a yarn company sponsoring me. Surprise, it's me, I'm sponsoring myself. Sorry that I didn't really lie, kind of. It was a white lie. Anyway, the yarn company is me, and this is the yarn that I've been talking about. The way I describe it is that it's pretty much like most popular chenille yarns. You kind of have your parfait chunkies out there or your Hobie honey bunnies. They're very velvety, but they can be like a little bit fragile. But whereas you might have your like Bernat blanket yarns, which can be a little bit more like sturdy or durable, but then they kind of sacrifice that velvetyness for that durability, which is not something I wanted. So I wanted to get somewhere that was in the middle of like a Bernat blanket yarn and a velvety chenille. I would say that this is a minuscule amount like less velvety than your classic parfait chunkies and whatnot, but I would say the durability of that just like poof, goes way up. Like it doesn't really shed that much either, which is really, really lovely. Like most chenilles do shed, and it might do if you kind of damage the yarns, but this has got so much more durability on those other yarns. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking down the other ones. Like, they're still lovely yarns, I still like them. It's just that I wanted something that was more durable but retains that softness. So that's where we got to with this cutie kind of yarn here. With saying about the sizing and things, I actually recently finished this little penguin buddy pattern. This is the one that I just put out for testing recently, but by the time you see this video, it might be like 2 months later. When I say it's like a little bit thicker than the previous yarns that I've been using, you can see this is what I have been using, and then this is what I've got now. So as you can see, they're both made with a 5.5mm hook, but like this one's just like ever so slightly larger, so that's just the difference in sizing there. It's very, very minuscule, and I don't think many people would really notice nor care that much, so. But for me, as someone who works with plush yarns and chenille yarns, like daily, constantly, it makes a difference to me. So I wanted to make something that was good for experts, good for beginners, and just good overall to use, and I can't wait to just like flush out my shelves and have it only stocked with my yarn, which I'm gonna actually introduce you to all the different colors and colorways and names and things like that right now, because it's exciting and I can. Yay! With the name of this yarn, it's actually really funny how we came up with the name. I was on a holiday with my partner like last summer. I think it was just after Christmas, and we were just driving along talking about ideas of what I could call the name of the yarn, like what would be on brand for Zaddycrafts. So originally I was trying to think of like cute, fluffy kind of things that would give people that idea of like joy and cuteness, and so I was like, I don't know, cotton candy or something like that, and I was like, this just sounds so normal, like, dare I say. And so I was like, I just wanted to make a name that was just kind of like funny and to the point, and I was like, oh, imagine if I just like called it like a really good chenille yarn. And so when people bought the yarn, they're like, oh, here, I've got Zaddycrafts really good chenille yarn. And then my partner was like, that's actually quite funny. And I was like, yeah, it is quite funny. What if I did do that? Yeah. It's just so stupid and I love it. But it's a really good chenille yarn. So I introduced to you a really good chenille yarn. So it comes in 15 different colors. I focused a lot more on the main colors and then trying to get like a lot of pastels out there, because personally I like working with pastels, but there is so much like opportunity to develop into more colors. I just don't have the money yet, and I'm hoping with the first release that I will be able to use that money to actually go out, develop more colors, and then just restock with more yarns, and then expand into other yarns and things. That's just an overview and ideas that have been on my mind. If it's all successful and people really respond well to it, then we've got good things happening. So let's just show you the colors now and talk to you a little bit more about the color names as well, because there was a little bit of a thought process behind that. That wasn't just me being like, it's a really good yarn. I actually put like a little bit more thought. I mean, you know what? I put thought into both. Like, this is funny. I enjoy this. And that's what's important. So with the colorways, as I said, there's 15 of them, and the way that I named them is I kind of gave them like adjectives that I would imagine that you would be putting into each creation you make. So for example, you've got the colorway Simple, which is like our main white color. But then if you're mixing it in with this pink yarn here, this one here is called Sweet. So let's make, I don't know, a little cute little pink penguin, like I've got the one behind me. So it's a little bit simple, it's a little bit sweet. Maybe I want to give it a little bit of gentleness. That's the idea that I'm going with. I wanted to give them kind of adjectives that you inject your characters with to give them kind of characteristics. It all makes sense. Anyway, let me just introduce them all. First up, we've got our classic white. This is the colorway Simple. All the balls are 100% polyester, 100 grams in each one. Although when I weighed them, there was like 105, 110 grams around there. So that's an added bonus. But they should be 100 grams. And I think they were, yes, 110 meters in length as well. So very exciting. So we've got Simple here. We've got Sweet, which is our like kind of pastel pink color here. We've got the color Whimsy, which is the classic purple, which is across all my branding, as well as this yellow here, which I believe is Playful. Yes, Playful. So this is the purple and the yellow, which is across all the brands. As I mentioned before, we've got Gentle, which is like a lovely kind of like light gold brown kind of color, which I think would be really nice for like a teddy bear color. Then we've also got this kind of chocolatey brown, which is the colorway Cuddly, which I also really like for a lot of these neutrals. A darker gray, which I called Brave. A lighter gray, which I called Charming, which kind of reminds me of like Prince Charming. So you got like Charming and Brave. Anyway. You see where I'm going with this? We've got classic black here. This is the colorway Mischief. Our blue, which is Adventurous. We have got 2 greens. So we've got this really bright, vibrant green, which is called Witty. And then we have like a pastel green, which is called Clever. It's more closer to like a mix between like a mint green and a lime green, which I think would look really nice on a lot of different creations. So yeah, we've got Witty and Clever. This one here, which is Charisma, which is a lovely kind of like bright pastel orange, which I really, really like. I really love this color already. This is one of my favorites. Vibrant, which is our bright red. And then last but not least, we have our light blue, which is called Spirited. So with the blues, you kind of have like Spirited and Adventurous. That's all the yarns, I believe. Let me just check. We've got Simple, Sweet, Charisma, Playful, Clever, Spirited, Whimsy, Gentle, Charming, Mischief, Witty, Adventurous, Cuddly, Brave, and then Vibrant. So that is the 15 colors that we're starting off with. I would love to expand into some more brights. As you notice, like I have like a more pastel orange, but I'd love like a bright orange as well. Same with the pink, I would love to get into a bright pink. The yellow is already quite pastel-y, so maybe like a gold or something next, but these are just colors that are going to come in the future. I've already got like on my screen here, I've got all the colors that I would love to expand to in the future, but if there's people out there who want to request certain colors and things, then please let me know, because I have the capability of bringing them in. I just picked colors that I wanted. And I feel like if I'm making myself happy first, then I'm sure other people will also enjoy the colors that I've got. Yeah. That's all I've got for now with starting this yarn brand and company up in this yarn vlog. So you got a little bit of the history, the colors that we've got. The next steps is actually setting up the little warehouse. So I've got a spot that I have just recently reserved and will be hiring out in the next week or so. And then hopefully the yarn will be arriving soon after that. And I'm gonna bring you all in that journey of getting it all set up, the release day, the nerves, everything like that. And then we can get crack-a-lackin' with our business. Exciting, yay. Let's just go do that, I guess. Hello, it's been a little while since I've popped by on updates for Zaddycrafts. Woo, it sounds weird to say that out loud because I feel like I've been introducing it very like secretively and quietly over on the rest of the channel and things. But now today's the day for getting my key to the storage unit and finally going to check it out and having like the setup actually begin for Zaddycrafts, because the yarn arrives in about like a week. So I'm getting some of the yarn airshipped over earlier than the shipping yarn. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not. Having a early amount of stock arrive many weeks earlier. Just so I can get things like kicked off, because I think if everything was gonna arrive in like mid to late December, that is a terrible time to release a yarn line. I think it's nice to get some early stock in, release the yarn, and just get everything started, even though I had to fork out a lot of money just to do that early delivery. So the yarn will be coming in about a week's time, and then hopefully I can actually launch Zaddycrafts the week after. But I get my keys to my storage unit today, so I can go there and just feel like I have a place for the yarn to arrive to. I've got some shelving arriving. I have like a little a packing and workbench to set up as well. And then I need to sort out everything else. I've actually gone to ChatGPT and I was like, can you write a list of everything that I need for setting up my own like packing warehouse? And so there's like all the different like postal things you need to set up. There's actually like, I need to also set up the website still. I need to set up, God, everything. As soon as I start thinking about it all, it gets a bit overwhelming. So I'm still excited. I'm very, very excited just to talk about this yarn as my own yarn, and I like make tutorials with it over on YouTube and just talk about it as Zaddycrafts yarn, because it is so cool and it is so exciting. Anyway, that's not the point of me jumping on right now. The point of me jumping on now is saying I'm going to my storage unit, I'm gonna go pick up the keys, and I can show you the empty space. So let's go do that. So here we have it, my beautiful little space. We've got some natural light coming in, and I'm looking forward to setting it up. Thinking about gonna put like a little packing desk here, and then maybe some shelves along there, one up the back, and then one over here. That doesn't open, that's actually just a wall. And then gonna get myself a little generator and hopefully have it all set up. So Cool. Guess what? Very, very excitingly, I think the yarn has arrived. So the storage unit where I'm going to be working out of for Zaddycrafts has just sent me a message saying something has arrived, it being the mail, and I just checked in with my suppliers and they just said that there's a delivery notice for them, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I'm gonna go check it out and see if it is the yarn. It's so exciting. If it is the yarn, that means I could actually start off releasing Zaddycrafts yarn, a really good chenille yarn, as of next week, hopefully. I just need to finish up everything on the website, just getting everything, like getting all my, chickens in a row, getting everything lined up and ready for release. So, so much to plan and think out, but it's all very exciting. Okay, let's go check out the yarn. Hello, so excitement has turned to a little bit of stress. I mean, one part excitement, one part stress. The exciting part is that my shelving units have arrived, so I can set them up later this week. The more stressful part is that the suppliers who sent the yarn, they're like, oh yeah, it's been delivered to location. And I'm like, no, it hasn't. And they're like, oh, it says from our delivery person it's been delivered. And I'm like, where? So a bit stressful, so they're checking into it at the moment. I'm just hoping that it does show up because I forked out a lot of money for that delivery. So let's see. We'll keep you updated. Hello team, welcome to the storage unit. We have one shelf set up. We're just setting up the next one very, very soon. Getting everything ready for the arrival of the yarn, which I don't know where it is right now. They said it's on its way. Hopefully it comes soon because I'm waiting to just release the yarn and I'm a little bit tired of telling everyone online that it's an unreleased yarn that I'm being sponsored with. It's my yarn. Yeah. So we're gonna keep working on it, get the rest set up, and then we're gonna go out for some beers because we're men and it's a big tough day and a big job and all that. Whoa. Wow. Stone in and a half finished workbench, which we'll come back to when we have a drill. Yeah. It's happening! Ooh. So I got a notification this morning that the yarn is on its way and is going to be delivered today, and then I just got a notification just then that the yarn has been delivered, so my partner is going to come pick me up and we're going to go out to the warehouse and get everything set up. It's very, very exciting. But once I got that notification this morning, I was like, oh my god, it's go time. It's go time. And then I just quickly jumped online and completely overwhelmed myself with everything that you need to prepare for a business launch. So I've been working on the website all morning. I've been working on postage, like prices and things, so sorting out like international shipping to New Zealand, to North America, around Australia, etc. Then I was also trying to figure out like domain access, about why Google domains is now held by Squarespace, but trying to transfer that over to Shopify, which has been just a little bit of a nightmare. And then I've been trying to figure out like a whole product launch plan of how I want it to look on social media when I am announcing that I am starting this yarn company, and then also the actual launch date of the yarn and what that might look like, because it's technically two different dates. Like, I want to announce that I'm doing this yarn, and then I also want to announce the date like 2 days later of when the yarn's actually available, and I want people to jump on the mailing list so they can get that early access and the discounts and things like that. So there's just a lot going on. Most importantly, the yarn is here, which means I can prepare for the actual launch date, because I haven't actually had a launch date this whole time because I've been waiting for the yarn to arrive so I can actually pick one. Today is the 8th of November, a Friday. I won't be able to set up everything this entire weekend for a launch date of next week, just because I've got so many things going on. So I'm thinking that maybe the launch date will be like Wednesday the 20th or Thursday the 21st of November, which is later than I anticipated. I really wanted to get this yarn, actually I wanted this yarn released back in March. It's taken so long. There's just a lot that goes into manufacturing yarn. This has been over a year in the making, so getting it to an actual date, actually just having it released, is more exciting than like trying to find the perfect time to release it, because at this point it's just gonna be released when it's released, and it's being released soon, which is very exciting. I'm kind of just blabbering and going around in circles, so I'm gonna go check out the yarn and I don't know, be excited.
was gonna say so many boxes, you always want to cut this. Wow. Oh, let's see.
So we've got everything unpacked over here and put them into a color order. So we've got a good amount of each unit just to start off with, but there's another shipment on the way, and then which is a little stock take. But then I've also taken home one of each of the colors just for a little quality control. And yeah. Woo! We're just gonna pack everything into boxes now. We could leave it out in theory and it would probably be fine, but because the release date isn't for like another week or so away, we just wanna make sure that we're taking extra care of the product and just making sure it's all tucked away safely, and we'll only be out when we're actually packing into boxes and things. But for now it looks really good and I'm very, very excited, and from first glance and first touch, everything seems to be in order, which is yay! All packed up, gonna go home, and then we'll be back in here
whenever it's
opening. Hello friends, it is 10 PM on Sunday night, so I'm just speaking a little bit quieter because I don't want to wake my roommate. But I thought I'd give you a little update. So where you last saw me was back in the unit, in the warehouse with all the yarns and things, all very exciting and whatnot. And now I have had a Saturday off and I've come back to Sunday just to work on the admin of the behind the scenes of everything. Just because we have decided on a release date on the 21st of November. So today is the 10th of November. That gives me 11 days until the proper release date, and in that time I need to do a teaser and then an announcement, and then I want to do a lot of advertising trying to get people on the mailing list to prompt them to come over to the website and hear about our products and things, just because I'm a small business owner and that's what we do. So join the mailing list. No, so we did like a little mapping out plan this morning, and we decided that tomorrow would be the best day to actually start off doing the teaser, and then I'd have another day of teasers, and then I'd do an announcement on the next day. So because I'm doing the teaser tomorrow means that I am dropping a lot of hints about Zaddycrafts and that I am doing a yarn company and things, and so I just needed to get everything all prepared just for whatever may happen, what kind of things people are going to be asking me about, everything like that. The main thing I needed to get organized was the mailing list, and getting the mailing list organized means that I needed to get my website up to a certain standard just before it's all released and everything like that. So I got home at 2 PM this afternoon and I've spent the last 8 hours working on trying to connect a mailing list to Shopify and getting it all prepared and trying to make everything pretty and trying to make all the text look nice and everything like that. And it's just been a long day. And then in addition to that, we also decided that now is the time to do the Yarny Awards. So I've been trying to figure out how to announce doing the Yarny Awards, but make the communication about that not be mixed in with the release of Zaddycrafts. So very thankfully I've got Naomi from Croutonscrochet. She's helping me co-host the Yarny Awards this year, and she has been an absolute gem, absolute just brilliant to work with on everything. Every time we talk about content or how we're going to approach things, we are just always on the same wavelength. And while I've been asleep and she's been awake because of the different time zones, she's been working on Canva, getting things written down. I'm checking on my notes, and then she'll leave notes for me, and then I'll do the other night shift. And then we catch up in the mornings when our timelines cross over, and then talk about what we've got prepared. So now tomorrow morning we're going to be releasing an announcement for the Yarny Awards, and then that evening I'm going to be putting out the first teaser for Zaddycrafts. So it is all a go. So I think this next week is just going to be very exciting and going to be a bit of a blur, and I'm excited. I think excited is the word I'm just going to keep using. So let's just hope it goes well. Hello friends, I think it's been like a day or so since I last jumped on here, and it has been a very, very busy and exciting time. Yesterday I just spent the day creating all these like teaser announcement posts for Zaddycrafts and a really good chenille yarn, and I have just started posting them as of last night, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal. People have been excited, they've been jumping in the comments. I also get to reply as the Zaddycrafts account, which is very, very exciting because in my head there's like this bunny character which I think will grow in personality over time, but for now it is just a bunny announcing all the different things to do with a really good chenille yarn. So it's all very exciting. As you can see behind me, I've also redone my background so I can showcase my yarns in the near future. I might replace that again with all my plushies and whatnot. They're all just like laying over my bed right now and I'll need to find a place for them. That's what I'm working on right now. But also particularly right now in the moment, I'm also working on a little fox buddy, which is my Patreon pattern, and will be the first like larger buddy pattern that I've made with the Zaddycrafts yarn. So very, very exciting. In the future, I would like to actually replace all my buddy plushies that I've had like sitting up behind me with buddies created in Zaddycrafts yarn. So I think that's a project that I'll play into over the next few months and things. I think it'll just be like a fun project to go through and update all my patterns, to feature my yarn and have it linked in the patterns. Some of them need like a zhuzh up anyway because I made them like a year and a half ago and I've just been improving on my skill as a pattern designer since then. So it's about time we jump back in and do that. But also tomorrow I am going to be going to my partner's house and we're going to be doing a little photo shoot with all the yarn. I just need some like proper product photos. At the moment I've just got some like standard ones of me like holding the yarn against my wall, which is fine. It's just I wanted to seem a little bit more professional for the release of the yarn. So we're gonna work on that, and we're also gonna do some staged photo as well. It would just be nice to like put around the website where they fit and things like that. So it's a busy time here. I do need to actually go back to the warehouse soon and grab another ball of Charisma because I use this one for the fox. I also need a ball of Charming, which is our light gray, and then a ball of the Simple, which is our white, which is a very fitting name, I think. That's what's on for me today, and let's go do that. Hello, today is a photo day. I'm heading down to my boyfriend's apartment very, very soon, and we're meeting with another friend who used to work in product photography and all things like that. We are all catching up and we're doing some staged photos in the apartment. Honestly, I don't really know what we've got planned. We're just gonna bring all the yarn down. We've got a little light photo booth to get some product photos in there. I brought along some finished projects, and then we're just gonna get those product photos and then a bunch of random staged ones that we think up on the spot because we're doing this on a budget. So it should be a cute morning, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all goes. I'm very excited to have some like proper product photos in there. One thing that I really, really want to do is have like the yarn itself next to some finished makes so people can actually see what the yarn looks like when it's worked up. Like that's just something I really, really want. Unfortunately, I don't have like something made up in every single color yet. So there'll only be like a few images that I can actually do this with, but I also might just like get some of the yarn and then put one of the plushies next to it so they get an idea and just have that as like a standard photo, you know? I don't know. We'll make it work. AKA like if I have a pink jellyfish and then I put it next to like the yellow and the purple yarn, you'll get the idea that like there's a bunch of different colors and this is what it makes. And that'll be fine rather than just like each color having its own individual make with it. Makes sense? It makes sense to me. And then I've got lunch with Edwin and Rachel, if you know them from Instagram. Really, really lovely crochet couple in Sydney from Singapore. You'll see. Hello. We just finished taking lots and lots of photos in our homemade photography studio. And they look really good. They look really good.
And it's only taken us, what, 4 hours? That's pretty cool.
4 hours, but you guys will probably see the photos before we even talk about it on this vlog.
How exciting.
But they look good.
They look really good. Really
and I also I announced the yarn today, this morning, and it's had a great reception, so. Thanks everyone for your responses. And now I'm gonna go get some lunch with Edwin and Rachel, like I mentioned earlier. Hello friends, it's been a little while since we did our last update. aka I can't remember when our last update was. I just spent the weekend at a wedding and now I'm at home and I've been editing photos and just getting everything sorted. And like, I know people tell you when you start off a business or any kind of new adventure, they're like, oh, it's a real crash course in learning many things. And I'm like really for that, but just, oh my gosh, having to learn like the entirety of Photoshop and how to do color edits just to make sure that like, all the different colors in the background of those product photos matches what the yarn actually is. It's just, it took a lot. And also like lining up product photos to look correct and even and matching each other, and it was just there's a lot of work that went into it, and I'm very, very glad that it's now out to the world. Sorry, that's what I'm talking about. The yarn's just been released online. I just posted it on social media. And it's just very, very exciting just to see everyone's feedback, just saying they're all excited for the yarns, but it was just a lot of work getting there. So we've got T-3 days until the early release of the yarns. I think we've got everything sorted. I had like a content plan this past week of like things I wanted to post about. I wanted to talk about Zaddycrafts in general, what the yarn is like, the colors of the yarn, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is the pricing, because as a business you want to talk about what you offer as a value, and then you get to the pricing towards the end, because it's just how it goes. And so I finalized the price of the yarn. We're going to be selling each ball of yarn for $8.95 AUD, which is, I think it's roughly around like $6 US. It looks to be around $6. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, $8.95 per ball of yarn. I don't think that'll change anytime soon. I think that's a very fair price. I don't want to price too high just because I want to make it like be a yarn that people feel comfortable using, because if you price it too high, then people don't want to use it and it'll be sitting on your shelf. Like, this yarn is made to be used, and I want people to use it. I don't want people to buy it being like, oh, this is some kind of like really special yarn and only for special projects. I'm like, no, this is, you're supposed to use this, please use the yarn. So I wanted to make it like an affordable price, but not so much that it was one that would be not sustainable for my business. So I think that's a pretty solid price to be putting it out there for, and I'm just excited to get it out there and finally for sale. The other thing I need to work out is shipping. I already worked out one model of shipping, but I think it was a little bit confusing, and pretty sure I'm gonna go with this kind of model, but I'm gonna do like a flat rate shipping up until about 20 balls of yarn. So that's like 2 kilograms, because anything over that, it starts really increasing in price. And the variations before that is not really too much, so I'm just gonna do like a flat rate. If you try to average it all out, or if you try to be really precise in the different amounts of balls and yarns and things, I think it'll be too confusing for the customer. And I just wanna make this an easy process. People come to Zaddycrafts, they get the yarn, and then they make things with the yarn. They use the yarn, and then they come back for more, because it's really good yarn. It's a really good chenille yarn. Anyway, that's all for today, and yeah, then I'm going to be talking about the shipping and prices tomorrow, because I like the idea of being quite transparent about my business, and then I think it's just all go from there. So it's getting close, it's getting more and more exciting. Unfortunately, Tyne, my partner, is away this week as well, so I don't get to celebrate with him. He actually arrives back on the day of the general release, but I think at this point, like, I just checked our mailing list and we've almost got 500 people signed up for early access. So that's wild, and I don't know if we're gonna end up having any yarn left over for the general release, and we'll have to wait for the next shipment in December. Very, very exciting, but also nerve-wracking. But yeah, I think that's all from me for this update, and I'll see you all probably on the release day. Hello, I think it's been a couple of days now, and yes, my shelf keeps falling down. So the yarn isn't up there right now, but you can see the beautiful array behind me. Anyway, so I've got 24 hours until the official early release of the yarn, and I honestly think it's gonna sell out. It's just the data, the stats, everything like that is looking like it will. I have a group of like plushie makers who like all talk and test for each other and whatnot, and so I decided that I would send them like an extra early access link just to test out the website and make sure the shipping's correct and things. And like, there was a few issues, which I'm very, very thankful that I used this group to help test out those things. It's all been fixed now, but they've all been placing their orders, and I'm like, stop! They're gonna run out of like product for everyone else. Like, for full transparency, I have 900 units of yarn for this initial release, and then we have a later like restock happening in December, but they've already bought over 100 of those units. Like, I know it was a limited release, but oh my god, I didn't think it was like gonna run out, like, or have like a huge chunk of it running out right before the actual launch. So oh god, it's exciting and it's nerve-wracking, and I'm very thankful for everyone in the community for supporting me on this project. I'm just like, it's just very overwhelming. So yeah. Anyway, I still have to sort out doing the like emailing list release instructions and things like that, and also film some content like celebrating the release and announcing it and just saying we're finally launched and all that jazz, and then it's all go from there. It's all feeling very, very exciting, and I'm feeling very, very supported by the community. So it's It's all good feelings. It's a little bit of stress. It's a little bit of excitement, nerves, which I'm pretty sure all within the same kind of feeling anyway. And yeah, let's just get into it. Hello friends, it is launch day. We've got about 15 minutes until we go live for our early access on Zaddycrafts. So it's pretty nerve-wracking. I'm here in my little Zaddycrafts uniform. All my yarn fell down, so I've just got like a nice pretty pile of yarn. Actually, that fell in quite a nice manner. Anyway, so it's very, very nerve-wracking, but very, very exciting. I'm also going to jump on live on the Zaddycrafts account because I think that's a nice little touch and also a fun thing to do. Hopefully everything goes to plan. Otherwise, I'm just going to be recording myself having a big stress out. Don't know what else to say right now, but I thought I'd record this moment and just say, yay. We did it, fam. We did it. Hello. So that was a very, very successful launch. I have 3 skeins of yarn left. I have 1 of Charisma and 2 of Charming. And that's it. Ah! And that was so wild. There's a moment that we captured on the Instagram live where I refreshed the page like after the first 5 minutes and all the orders were just like, and I was like, oh my God. Gone through. Oh my God, wait. I didn't even click the refresh button. Oh my God. Oh wow. Thank you everyone. Ah! Very, very overwhelming, and I'm very, very grateful to you all for supporting me on this little venture, and I'm just very, very excited to get cracking with all the orders, with getting into the packing, and just, oh, there's a lot of work ahead, and it's all very, very exciting, and I'm just, can't wait. So, as you can tell, I'm just still overwhelmed. Like, I don't know what to say. Also, the very ironic thing, the 2 colors left over were the 2 main colors of my next pattern coming out, the little fox buddy and little wolf buddy. How are these colors left over? If they don't sell, I will probably use them. Like, they've been my most used colors because of this pattern. So anyway, let's go pack some orders. Hello and welcome to the warehouse. So after selling out yesterday, we are going to be packing up all the orders today. I think there's about 86 orders. There's a lot to do. My partner Tyne, he's on the way right now, but I am just getting like all the different colors out and getting them set up in a way that's easy to pick from. I got these little baskets from the local hardware store, so I can like go and pick whatever colors I need for the order, and I can put them down the table and they will avoid collecting any dust or anything, because these like storage unit warehousey places can be quite dusty, so I want to be careful with my yarns. I've also printed out every single packing sheet so I can go through and make sure that I've got every single yarn. And then I've also got all the orders here as well. But I think half the orders are for overseas, or no, I think a majority are for Australian orders, which is nice, and then the rest are overseas. Like kind of like a 60-40 Australian international. Anyway, I'm done talking. I better get packing because it is the afternoon now and I want to try to get this all done before tomorrow. 84 orders, that's insane. Anyway. Might see there's like a giant pile of cardboard in the back there. That's because you have to pay to dump rubbish in one of these places, so I'm just trying to avoid as many fees as I can. And there you have it. Ta-da! There is all the yarn ready to be packed into orders. It is a 903 units from the initial release. All of this is going to be going out globally, out to the world, mostly Australia, but out to everywhere. Very, very exciting. And thank you to everyone who bought yarn. I'm very, very excited to get this out to you. Let's just see how it goes. Ooh. Woo! Hello, we've hired... Hello. We have got some help hired in for today. He's already come in and told me what should be organized in a more efficient manner, which is really helpful because I did it one way and his way's better.
Is it? I'm glad that you think
I think so.
Okay, good. It will be
This
more
makes
efficient.
sense. It's just nice to have another pair of eyes and another brain to be like, hey, how about this? And I'm like, that's so smart because I have been thinking about so many things the past week.
Well, I mean, we have more than 1,000 orders to pack, so the faster the better. I actually did a quick calculation.
More than 1,000.
Huh?
We don't have more than 1,000.
Oh, I thought it was 1,000 plus.
No, it starts off at it says 1000. It's like the 0 and then goes 1001.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we've got 1,000 orders to pack.
We have like 86.
Okay, great. That's much easier. Because I
I was wondering why you're sending me like times of being like, this is gonna take 4.5 days to pack, and I was like,
I did a rough calculation.
Less than 1,000 balls of yarn. Why did you?
That for an average of something like 7 minutes per order, that would take us like 14 days to pack 1,000.
I was so
orders.
confused when you were saying
oh my
that, and
God.
I was like, yeah, maybe down the road when I have that many orders. I was like, what?
No.
Okay, this makes sense.
80 something is good.
Yeah.
Manageable. I mean,
Anyway.
we do the calculations, it would be quicker.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we're gonna go and reorganize some things, put yarns in alphabetical orders, get all the orders smacked together. I already found out I'm missing a bunch of packing lists, so I don't know what happened there with the printers, but it was already a nightmare this morning trying to get the printing sorted, so
Let's see what we can do.
at least we've got a good chunk here, and if I have to come back tonight and do more on my own, I will. Or even tomorrow morning. I don't know, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Woo! Alright, order number 1 is going to Rachel. I don't know
It's
how
not
much
even sequential order.
Let's just go to Rachel. I don't know if I'm supposed to like tell people where they live and stuff.
No, I don't.
At
think
the
it's
address. No. 1 skein of charming, brave, sweet. Oh, actually, I can bring this on camera.
Oh.
Where's my bucket? It's a moment for the history books.
Whee!
Okay. Woo! Wow! Brave. Beautiful colorways. We've got simple, whimsy, charming, brave, and sweet. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Quite right. Tonight, yeah. Yeah. You that got me feeling so free. Yeah. Wow. Woo! 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 First label. Done. Yay! Yeah. Woo! Woo! Hello. So Tyne just had to head off because he's going to watch Troye Sivan tonight, but I'm staying back here and packing. Also, very funny, funny joke world and universe watching me. So we just finished 1 box of deliveries ready to go out, and I'm gonna spend a lot more time here just finishing the rest of them, getting them all packed, everything like that. And then I just got a message saying the restock arrives tomorrow afternoon. And like, this is 900 units. I think there's gonna be 5 times as much of this arriving for the restock. If not more. Maybe 6 times. I don't know how I'm gonna fit it all in this tiny little warehouse. And I need to get all these orders out by tomorrow. This was supposed to be like towards the end of the vlog, but now it's just about to pick up with hecticness. I don't know, let's just see how many orders I get done and then we'll see what we do. Oh god. Hi! Hello everyone, this isn't Tyne. He's now been replaced with the new worker, Matthias. Hello.
Hi.
Guess who designed the bunny logo for Zaddycrafts?
It was me.
It's 9 o'clock now. We have pretty much packed like most of the orders. Oh, I can actually show you so you can all see. Look at, oh, I zoomed in. So we've got so many orders all packed down here. We've got 5 boxes full, which is wild. And then we still have a few to do tomorrow morning. We have our largest order yet done by Heather, which is 45 skeins. So that's cool.
Insane.
Insane. So we're going to go home. Have you had dinner yet?
No.
Let's go eat. Thanks, Matthias, for helping out this afternoon. It was an emergency call-in getting my graphic designer to come help. Okay, bye everyone!
Bye!
Bye! Hello, it is day 2 of packing orders and I have got like maybe another 20 to 30 to go. And it's just me this morning. But I will have a special guest popping in very, very shortly and hopefully they help me pack some orders, but they also might just be coming in to drop off a pastry and pick up their own order. Feeling a lot better after having some sleep last night. It's a lot of work. Hopefully we get this all done before the new shipment arrives tonight. We need to pack this all up, tidy away all the trash in the back there, and then send out all the packages. Look how many there are now. It's like, we're up to our 7th box? No, we're on our 6th box. We're about to start our 7th, so wild. Hi! Look, another special guest. We've got Adele from Croutonscrochet here.
Am I not your first special guest?
You're not. You're the 3rd. Well, I mean, we've got Tyne. We've got Tyne, and then we had my friend Matthias come to help pack last night.
Oh, okay, but I'm your first yarn friend.
First yarn friend, yeah. First crochet friend to pop by. Which makes it even more special. And we're gonna get Adele to pack her own order.
Am I being a paid employee as well?
Maybe, I mean.
No, I'm very happy to pack my own order. Very happy with that, that's fine.
Alright. Ready to get into it?
Baloo.
1 adventurous.
Mint. What's it called?
Otherwise known as clever. Keep going. I'm fine with that.
Lelo.
1 playful.
Excellent. We are going with 2 green.
Witty.
Witty.
2 witty.
2 witty. And 1 red.
1 vibrant. Ta-da!
It feels just amazing.
Is this a yarn review from the Aussie
This is-
Aussie yarn reviews?
Initial first reactions. So just like it's soft. I can't wait to work it up because I feel like it'll just flow beautifully. But
Is it
really good chenille yarn.
It's really good. Good morning. Ta-da! We have completed all 86 orders, and now we're gonna send it out and then clear everything out for the next shipment coming in about 2 hours. And thank you to my packing team. We've got thank you to the packing team. We've got Adele from Grow with the Flow and Tyne from these vlogs.
From this vlog.
Woo!
And Matthias.
And Matthias, he was here yesterday.
The booth from the booth.
From Booth Baby.
Booth thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta spread these things.
I've linked to the Instagram below. Hello again. This is actually insane. We've already just like said goodbye to all the post and the deliveries, and it's like an hour and a bit later, and we're filled up with the next restock. All the boxes arrived and we are exhausted. We What do we do this vlog? We talked about a yarn I was developing, we got the final samples in, we got it shipped over, we got the early samples, we started talking about it online in secret as my own.
In secret?
As my sponsored yarn. Sorry to everyone for lying to you. I had to, it was worth it, I promise. And then we set up the business, set up the whole warehouse, got everything built, got all the first shipment of yarn in, put it up online. Sold out.
Oh, took some photos. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did the product photos.
Oh, it's fun.
And then we sold out. And then we spent the past 2 days packing the orders. Then to suddenly find out the rest of the shipment was arriving on the day of us sending out the orders. And now I've got all the shipment in here. So
you should show everyone how many boxes.
I did. I showed them already. Like, look at this. Look, everyone. It's. we need to fully pack this up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your support. Everyone out there on the Patreon, a big thank you to you all for supporting me over the past few months. Yeah, oh my god, it's been a year of Patreon now.
Wow.
Yeah, if you can't tell, my brain is a bit fried, but like everyone over at Patreon, like none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for everyone over there supporting me as an artist, creator, business owner. Wow. And all that. So always just a huge thank you to you all out there, and I can't wait to also get my little fox buddy pattern out to you, which I think I featured earlier in this vlog. Otherwise, here's a photo of it, now blocking time. Wow, cute. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap up the vlog because we have just shown you the yarn business we just opened. Zaddycrafts is alive.
Launch.
It's officially launched, baby. Snip. Wow. Goes us to the ribbon. Okay. Let's end it there.
Yeah.
Any final words?
No. I think we're gonna take the weekend to
relax.
Sleep.
I can't wait to sleep. I forgot what sleep was like. That was such a distant memory.
Have some water. I'm parched.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Bye.
There is Will dancing around to fill up space at the end of the video. He wanted to feature in another vlog because he features in almost every vlog. Yay, Will.
So